Take yourself back to a simpler time, a child full of wonder before the internet, before the Star Wars prequels, before you'd ever heard the word canon, as we explore the real-world origins of Boba Fett. How did Boba Fett come to exist? What was the relationship between Palitoy and Kenner? Why were we promised a minifigure that fired a missile, but we got a minifigure with a missile that was unremovable? What is Boba Fett's link to Battlestar Galactica and the death of a toddler? Who were the Mandalorian warriors? Did Boba Fett really escape the Sarlacc? And with the release of the 1997 special editions, were we given a clue about the power of Boba Fett's flamethrower? Little did I know that my future also held a tenuous connection to Jeremy Bulloch, the actor who portrayed Boba Fett in Empire and Jedi. Star Wars figures were sold in a number of countries outside of the US. This was usually through other companies, many of which were subsidiaries of parent company General Mills. In the UK, the Star Wars license was held by Palitoy, which imported the figures and packaged them in the UK on Palitoy branded card backs. I'm not entirely sure when I became aware of Boba Fett. I guess it's a toss-up between seeing the Palitoy mail-away ads in the Marvel Star Wars comics, or seeing his photo in the Donald F. Glutt novelization of The Empire Strikes Back. Perhaps it was his appearance on the front cover of Starburst magazine. Walking up to our local toy shop, I remember chatting with my friend, him saying how cool it would be if they managed to get Boba Fett in stock. Perhaps he had advanced knowledge, but lo and behold, there was Boba Fett, in stock. Without a second thought, we both brought the figure. Back home, I remember being somewhat confounded that the Fett figure was copyright 1979, which meant he had been produced a full year before the movie had been released. He seemed like an odd anomaly stuck between the first 20 vintage figures and the new line of Empire figures. This, of course, added to the character's allure and mystery. Through the course of the next few years, I was sure to make my figure as screen accurate as possible, given my limited practical abilities. This mainly involved the battle damage, and I remember adding the dents in his chest plate and helmet, and scratching off some of the paint from around his visor. I was always somewhat disappointed that the figure's colours didn't hold up to scrutiny compared to the on-screen costume. March 1978. Joe Johnston is often considered the father of Boba Fett. He took the concept from elite Imperial stormtrooper known as the Super Trooper through to the mercenary we know today. April 17th, 1978. Kenner creates their concept for a 12-inch Boba Fett action figure based on Joe Johnston's drawing, replete with white Super Trooper armour. June 28th, 1978. In George Lucas's back garden, Ben Burt talks us through the armour and features of the Super Trooper.
Can you speak to us, Boba?
Certainly.
Boba has sort of a radio voice. There's a speaker built into him here.
In the black and white video screen test, the armour is worn by Empire Strikes Back assistant film editor Dwayne Dunham. Note the Super Trooper's choice of weapon. Eventually, Boba Fett settled on a blaster rifle based on a Webley flare gun. In the same month, a Kenner sales meeting was held that included a presentation around promotional materials, including the rocket-firing Boba Fett action figure. August 1978. Battlestar Galactica toys hit stores. Kenner releases their product catalogue for January-February 1979, which features the promise of a rocket-firing Boba Fett minifigure. A few days after the US television premiere of Battlestar Galactica, Boba Fett makes his first live appearance at the San Anselmo County Fair. This prototype Boba Fett, and no longer all-white costume, was sent to Sandy Duvetta's Daydream Productions, where she used it as a template to paint 3 additional costumes. If Joe Johnston is considered the father of Boba Fett, then Sandy Duvetta can most surely be considered Boba Fett's mother. October the 3rd, 1978. By October 1978, the status report shows that there is one Boba Fett costume in the US and another 5 in process in the UK. October the 26th, 1978. Nearing the end of the month, updated status shows 3 costumes now in the US and 3 remain in process in the UK. October 1978. Kenner created the action figure's original card back from this rather informal-looking photo shoot. During December 1978 through to January 1979, tragic news breaks of young children choking on toy missiles fired from Battlestar Galactica toys. One 4-year-old toddler dies from complications arising from asphyxiation just days after receiving the toy for Christmas. 1979. At February's New York Toy Fair, Kenner displays a loose Boba Fett figure, rocket firmly fixed in place. A carded mock-up also on display contains an early prototype J-version rocket-firing Boba Fett, as a curious collector found out years later. April 29th, 1979. Battlestar Galactica has its TV series finale. There have been 27 recorded incidents of inhaled or swallowed Battlestar Galactica toy missiles to date. Clearly, Kenner made the right decision to abort their missile-firing Boba Fett, much to the disappointment of 10-year-olds everywhere. June 1st, 1979. Final production Boba Fett figures start shipping for retail sale. August 13th, 1979. In the next month, Lucasfilm files application for the design patent related to the Boba Fett action figure. Despite his demise on screen, Boba Fett lives on in the comics and the minds of the fans. One of the most memorable Marvel comic book spreads shows the Mandalorian warriors blasting away. Boba Fett is inserted into a previously deleted Star Wars scene for the special edition for no discernible reason, although there is speculation about the Beru and Owen Lars execution linking to Darth Vader's line in The Empire Strikes Back, "No disintegrations," implying Boba Fett was secretly working for Darth Vader on Tatooine. As for my own tenuous link to the legend that is Boba Fett, he has an inferred cameo in Crooked Features.
Who are you?
One of the stars of that film, Kate Norton, went on to work with Jeremy Bulloch as Nurse Jenny Taylor in the first season of Star Hike.
We've got to move on. Move on to a higher level.
But we can't. We're on the bridge.
Yeah, lovely.
With the release of the next chapter of the Star Wars saga, The Force Awakens, rumours abound of Boba Fett's return. Will fans be satisfied? And will toy sales soar? Only you
You can decide with Star Wars toys.
He's waiting.